state, but it's more of a libertarian kind of like live and let live kind of attitude.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of that seeps through in the work. But I mean, we've taken so many different conservative ideals to task too, but we have just ripped on a couple of liberal ones like Barbara Streisand and Rob Reiner, and all of a sudden, like, we're conservatives, and it's like, to live in L.A., to live in California, those are the sacred cows. I mean, literally and figuratively. Rob Reiner, you know, that was a bad joke. Oh, what? That was a terrible joke. But you know, I mean, it is true. Like Trey said, it's like, you know, if we sit around in our writers' room and we all sit around and go, and what I think of our best stuff comes out is we try to personify this side of the argument and this side, and then we take a little funny way out.
Right.
And I'm just not interested in Trey can vouch for this. I'm not interested in sitting around and agreeing with people. Right. And where we live is like the liberal part of the world. And not because
there's a group think.
There's a group think, and you only get to some new truth by argument and by dissent. And it's like some of it is just we just play devil's advocate all the time. You know?
Here's what else you said. I am just sick of actors on CNN parroting what they read in the paper. I keep expecting Larry King to say, and now for a word on Iraq, the Cookie Monster.
Yes. It really, well, I mean, and that's when we were writing Team America. And, you know, we were...
Team America?
Team America is a movie we made last year that was all done with marionettes, and it was basically about a world police force, international world police force, that obviously parried everything that's been going on. And it was so fascinating because we... You know, the whole movie starts where the international police force shows up in Paris and just blows away all of Paris in order to get one terrorist, you know what I mean? And it's basically like, and it was a condemnation of that. But on the other hand, in the middle, it sort of took a turn and started ripping on the liberal, you know, on the actors that, for us, we live in L.A., we know a lot of actors, they're not smart people, right? I mean, and just like we shouldn't be on any TV show discussing what world policy should be, you know.
I was going to ask you to stay to the next segment. We're going to talk about
right.
Iraq and
but, yeah, you know, believe me, you don't want to hear our opinion.
All right, roll tape. Here's a clip from the 2004 movie Team America. Did you go to school in Columbine?
Did I go to school? Did you go to school?
You have an education.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? How do you make stuff like this?
Did you go to school?
Did you go to? I mean, did you go to school in Columbine or?
No, I went to. I grew up in Littleton, Colorado, where Columbine High School is. I went to a different high school. Littleton's not a little town. It's
you know Michael Moore?
I did. I know him a little bit. I talked to him on the phone a couple times, met him a couple times, and then did the interview in Bowling for Columbine.
And what did you make him? A suicide what in the movie?
He was basically a piece of ham. he blows himself up. He blows up the Mount Rushmore, and then we had his whole puppet filled with ham. And we had this great scene that had to get cut later, but they were like, "My God, Michael Moore was made of ham." You know?
So the whole scene didn't make the movie?
No, the scene where he blows himself up did, but just the part where we, you know, said that he's made of ham. Yeah.
Now, how did he like it? Did he?
We hope not.
I don't know.
We hope not.
I don't know if
That's
he
the
liked
point.
it.
I mean, no, it was really, that was a personal thing for me anyway, because he actually called us when he was making the Bowling for Columbine movie, and he said, I'm making this movie about gun control, will you make an animated thing for it? And we said, oh, no, sorry, we're busy. I have a gun, actually, you know, so I'm not really interested. But then he said to Matt, he said, well, you know, we're going to interview, we just want to interview about Littleton, ask you about Littleton. And that seemed like a, you know, fine thing. So Matt went and did an interview about Littleton.
And that's all he talked about, Littleton?
Yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff. And I said, he interviewed me, and he didn't misrepresent me in the movie at all. I mean, I think it's not like I'm mad about my interview or anything.
Right.
He didn't mischaracterize me. But he did do an animation that was surprisingly South Park-like. He had somebody else do an animation. And most people that
he ripped off South Park.
Well, and what happened was, it actually ripped off a film I made when I was in college. That was South Park looking.
It's called American History.
It was called, my movie was called American History, and this thing ripped that off, and they put it right after Matt's interview to make it look like we did it.
Oh.
So then everyone started coming up and going, hey man, love that thing about, you know, glad you hate guns too. And I'm like, I don't hate guns, you know, and it's like, hey man, the cool thing you did. And I was just like, and then when people came out and started saying, well, you know, Michael Moore, he's a manipulator and he changes things to make things look some way. I'm like, yeah, I was a personal victim of that. It's totally true. So I made him a fat piece of ham in my movie and I blew him up. Yeah. I'm done. I feel fine now. It's just a puppet movie.
You got it off your chest and everything's okay.
We're cool.
You know, and it proves the maxim, don't screw around with anybody that has a cartoon.
Yeah, that's right. We'll make you into ham and blow you up.
Make you into a puppet and blow you up.
Congratulations. Great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Fun. Great
South
time.
Park. What else should I say about it? That's it.
Yeah,
huh?
that's great.
That does it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right. Good.
Thank you very much.
I'm fine.
Thank you.